Hey guys, so Brian here. I just wanted to do a real quick recap kind of video, just to kind of kind of go back and realize that although I'm still pretty new at all this investing in silver and stuff, so I'm still learning as I go. And I noticed too. I think that as you kind of get more and more experience with silver and stuff. I think, and as you get more of it, I think there's obviously some different challenges that happen that I kind of want to talk about. And one thing is that this little book safe that I mentioned in another video. I've talked about a couple other ones. It's been good for the most part, but obviously I mean it's getting too full, and I've got two more coins being shipped as well, and so I'm just getting them slowly as I can. As you can see, it's getting quite full. Although some of these, I'm trying to sell these. These are kind of these were some mistake purchases early on when I first got into this. Was these graded coins? I didn't realize when I bought these. I didn't realize they were they were not even silver. They were just quarters and nickels. I was pretty pissed once I got them in the mail and found out. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. You notice everything else I have, nothing else I have is graded except these four I got screwed on early on in the process. But lesson learned. I'm actually trying to sell those online. I've got those listed, so I've just been leaving them here just because. But I get rid of those. That'll save me some more room in here in the safe here. But the otherwise, I'm pretty happy with my collection so far. I've got quite a bit of variety. I've got everything. I got Britannia. Although I will say I got a lot of one or two, except for I got quite a bit. I have 11 total. I think Eagles, American Silver Eagles there. I've got several of the Maple Leafs. I can't remember how many. I think I have maybe 4 or 5 or something. Maple Leafs at least. I got 2 pandas. I know. There's an eagle, and I've got quite a few kind of unique stuff in here as well, including there's and a lot of this I've already shown in other videos and stuff as well. So there's a 2 ounce, Queen's Beast. It's a really nice coin. I really like these Queen's Beasts. It's something that's probably kind of quickly become a favorite and stuff. So just kind of going to kind of do a rehash. I got some of this series of the animals and stuff of the Canadian stuff too. And I've got quite a bit of variety. I feel pretty good about it overall where I'm at. And so for those out there that are new at this, just take your time and do what you can. It's always going to start somewhere. And I do want to talk about, I've got some junk silver in here, although, I'm still kind of slowly kind of building up my junk silver. Because, my only trouble is with it is, I understand, like, my prepper side of me wants to have more junk silver. I've got that, and I've got some mercury dimes in here, but the issue, though, is when I'm looking at this stuff, you look at the pricing on some of this junk silver, though, it's kind of hard because, I recently bought, my last purchase was 20 mercury dimes it was like 50 something dollars. And I just was like, well, I went ahead and got it, and I'm still working up towards, I can't even find this other bag, but I'm still working up to it, but it's just kind of frustrating because I'm like, well, if if I pay almost $60 for some mercury dimes, then but I can go get, for that kind of money, for pretty much, with the spot price right now at $23, $24, something like that for Eagles, I'll be getting 5 over spot at my local coin shop. So, I can go pick up, a couple of these for $60 or less, possibly, depending on the spot price. So if these are going for $28, a little, I can, it doesn't or maybe a few more bucks, I can get, so you have to kind of, I think the issue comes up is you got to kind of weigh out, well, do I want to spend, almost 60 bucks in junk silver, or do I want to go get two American Eagles, or could be some other varieties of, so could I'll go get a couple of maple leaves. I can go get a couple of, you're talking, 999 silver bullion versus 90% silver, right? And I know there are differences in it, obviously, but some of this stuff can have a lot of numismatic value to it as well and stuff. So, whereas if I can get a good deal now on something, then down the road, I'll go to turn around and sell it, I might get even more value than the spot price goes up and stuff. So, whereas if I just go buy junk silver, well, like I said, it's maybe good to have in terms of, an apocalyptic event or something, but, is it really going to help much otherwise, in terms of, I don't know. I mean, that's where I get a little bit hectic. And so I'm still going to kind of grow I'm still going to kind of grow it, but I think I'm kind of choosing to just kind of do it slowly because I've had there it is over there. I've had another guy tell me, he recommended having, $250 of junk silver kind of in your stack, first, and then you can kind of get into this stuff. And but $250, I realized pretty quickly, I was like, well, $250, that's face value. That's like around $5,000 of, actual, fiat currency, right? So, that's a lot of money you're talking about. That can take a long time to kind of build up to and stuff. So, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I kind of prefer this, but, I'm gonna still build this up. One thought is too, is I'm on my Mercury dimes. I think I'm only like 9 away from a roll. And so that's kind of a one. I thought, well, that'd be a kind of a good goal on these, was to kind of, I can build up, just get 9 more as I buy more stuff. I can grab some more dimes, and then I'll get my first roll, and that might kind of encourage me to keep stacking on it on the junk silver. But I just have a hard time again if I go buy. I've seen these, big purchases online. You get the bags of junk silver, but even that, I mean, some of those are, you're talking hundreds or thousands of dollars for a bag of junk silver, And then also you do have the challenge too of the storage of it, where it's a little bit easier, and I can have a nice case like this to protect it. Obviously, junk silver you don't have to protect as much. It's not that one's not a big deal. Which can be nice, not to have to worry about it, and having, have to have all these cases and stuff, I guess, is another cost on these. But but still, I think the junk silver, though, we're talking about, as you get, a bunch of it, like it, storage may become an issue as well. And just in general, as you can see on this, storage is becoming an issue either way. It still becomes a problem. And of course, these cases take up more room as well. These take up more room and stuff. So it does get a little challenging. I'm definitely outgrowing this safe already. So it's been a good good little cheap option for me for now. And I'm trying to debate over well, do I get another safe or just get another one of these? So I have a couple, and I have to figure out how I spread it. I spread things out. Like I said, hopefully I can sell these and get rid of them, get some money back to turn into real silver. And maybe if I sell that, maybe I'll use it to maybe get the 9 Mercury dimes and then get a roll out of that maybe. So I'm still going to grow my junk silver, but like I said, I'm going to probably do it kind of gradually over time, because I really want this to be my primary investment long term, and then this is just going to be kind of that backup emergency junk silver, which is really what, to me, junk silver is for in the first place. It's kind of more emergency. Now, I will say, as a follow-up review on this, I have scratched up some of these, a couple of these cases, and at first I couldn't figure out why I had like a scratch on it. I think it was this one, actually. I was trying to figure out, like, what happened to that case. Yeah, I think I feel right there. You probably can't see it, but there's kind of like a big scratch right there, and I was glad it was in the case for sure. Well, I found out what it was on this thing here sticking out. I was closing this with stuff, and it was something, if it's like right here, that screw is hitting it, and if I'm pushing it down and locking it, as I'm twisting that, it was chewing into the hard plastic, and so I was like, oh man. So it took me a little bit to figure out, because a couple of them were looking like that, and I couldn't figure out why. But that's why. So kind of a follow-up review on this thing. You gotta be careful putting anything in the middle over here. So I try to leave a kind of a gap right there, which makes it even more challenging to as this gets too full. It makes it even more challenging on this. So just keep that in mind if you're going to try to use this type of book safe type of thing. Keep that in mind, because like I said, that can chew up. That little screw right there is kind of sharp actually, and stuff. So that's just kind of a follow-up review on this. But otherwise, it's been a pretty good little thing, and I just like that it's I just like that it's really hidden and it looks like a book. I do like that, but again, I am kind of outgrowing it, so I'm gonna have to try to probably look at another option, or get another one of these. I think it was $11 or something on Amazon. So highly affordable. That's one thing I liked about it, was it was really affordable option, and more covert than just getting a safe and putting it in your bedroom or bedroom closet or something, which is like the first place criminals are going to look anyway. So I don't know. I'm kind of got to figure out what I'm going to do. I got a couple more coins. I'm excited to show y'all the next couple coins I'm getting. They're part of a series that I'm really excited to. I really want to add to my collection, and so I'm excited to show y'all that once it comes in. I'll make another video to show you that. It's not the whole set yet, but it's two of them. There's like a four coin set, and they have some other specialty ones, that get into like the color and all that, which I'll have to, that might be something down the road if I decide to add those. But I wanted to get the main 4 coins first, but I'll do a video when I get these 2 in that I've already ordered recently. So and stuff. But I wasn't gonna make this too long of a video, but just kind of follow up and just kind of show. This is kind of my stack after several months kind of getting into this. And so I feel pretty good about it, actually. I really do. I feel pretty good about where I'm at. I feel like, any of this stuff I could turn around and, I can turn around and resell, get my money back, plus some, probably in most cases. I could probably turn a profit on a lot of this, even if it's a few bucks a coin or something. But again, the main thing is to preserve my wealth and preserve, and I'm kind of looking at this as retirement as well. This is something I can kind of stock up over time, and it could be a potential, retirement, because you can't really rely on things anymore. You can't rely on 401ks and that kind of stuff. You definitely can't rely on Social Security, those kind of things in America anymore. And so, to me, this is kind of a long-term plan for, it's really got me excited into savings. And I will say, I think I mentioned that before in another video as well, that I think some people have said too that, there's, it's hard to save, fiat currency. Matter of fact, I don't even feel like, fiat currency is not really made to save. It's something that's not really made to be saved. It's made to be spent. And that's what makes it so hard to save, because it's really not made to save. And we're actually discouraged to save fiat currency. We're discouraged because of the low interest rates and stuff. They really discourage it. So we're kind of stuck. We're kind of stuck with fiat currency, and I couldn't ever, I just felt like, well, I was just, I'm not very good at saving. It's kind of like that mentality you kind of get into. But as I got into this, now I've realized, well, it's because of the system. It's not because, it wasn't really me. It was because of the misunderstanding of what real money is. This is real money. Silver, gold is real money. And I have a plan to gradually get some gold eventually. I do have a plan. I mentioned another video on that, UPMA. I won't talk too much about that here, but I'm still working on that to kind of gradually put some money in savings. And so because of that, my stack here may not develop as fast, but I'm still working on it. Okay. And then, with that, I am starting to look at maybe getting some more generic rounds at some point. I'm just trying to, I've got to kind of weigh out the just kind of depends on when I have the money. If I've got, because one thing I don't have is, you kind of notice I've got a lot of ones here and there. So I do have 11 Eagles, but I think total all mixed up dates though. And so one thing I'm looking at maybe even doing is trying to do a little bit more of, maybe get some generic rounds, or I don't know if I would do that, but I want to be able to get a big purchase in terms of like at least a roll of either Eagles or Maple Leafs or something, or maybe a generic round, or something, just to have. I kind of like to start doing that where I can, drop, $500 or something, $600 on one whole roll of something. I just don't know what it's going to be yet. I have looked at I'm trying to find some of the cheaper things that still have a decent value, but I know I'm gonna get my money back. Maybe at least a few dollar premium possibly would be nice. And so that's why I tend to think about the Eagles first, and then I'm looking at other things. I've looked at the Somalia coins, the elephants, and some things like that as well. And there's some kind of unique ones out there like that, but I've seen some other videos as well that have been brought up. So, but I think it just kind of depends. I guess the first thing is to kind of have the money ready, and then you kind of, depending on what you can find, or if there's some specials, and if they, I've got several websites I'm kind of building. I'm kind of like signing up for, subscribing and things like that kind of help, hunt down all this stuff and make sure that I'm getting notifications in my inbox of special deals that's going on, that kind of thing. And maybe new releases is a big one too. So keep an eye on big releases. And also, one thing I learned too in all this is that it's nice to be able to have some kind of money to spend whenever something new like that comes out, because otherwise you don't have any, you don't have any powder, as they say, to make a move when something comes out if you've already spent everything. So that can be kind of a challenging, when it's like I'm so eager when I do have a little money, I'm so eager to go spend it, to go grab some silver, that sometimes it can be a little tricky if you don't have any dry powder left. Then it can be a little tricky to kind of pick up on those. Maybe it's a new series that came out, or a fresh new minted coin or something that's coming out in a few days or weeks, and you're like, oh man, I got to get this coin. And sometimes there may be some really good profit on some of these, that if you can get the first ones out, and then turn around and sell them, then there could be some profits there. And so that's kind of intriguing to be able to do, but it may be a little while before I can do that. But that's something else I'm definitely will look at. But again, let's say if there is a top coin like these new American Eagles coming out as one big one that's been talked about a lot in some other channels. If that happens there, even if you could get them, which is probably really difficult, which I couldn't get the gold. I don't have that much powder, but but the silver possibly. But even then, if you're talking about trying to buy, one or two, but even if you can make, 10, 20, $30 profit, on a couple of them, is it going to be worth the time to buy and try to turn around and sell? I don't know. To me, the odds are you're probably, if you can't buy, at least 5 to 10, or more, I don't know that it's worth it at that point, unless you can really say, okay, if I can, or if it's fewer than that, then I would think I would just buy them to keep them, honestly, and just, maybe sell them down the road once it's like really gone up in value, once they're truly hard to find, because you're going to have a lot of people that buy them in the beginning. Some are going to stash them and hold them, but you're going to have some people probably buying them to sell them too, and they're going to up the mark them up significantly, I would assume. But again, if you're talking $10, $20 a coin, a couple of coins isn't going to be that big of a deal, Whereas if you have at least 5 or 10 or more, then yeah, that makes sense. So I would think you'd want to be able to do a big purchase on something like that, and then you could. Because the nice thing too about doing a big purchase is then you can keep one or two in your stash, and then just sell off the rest if you wanted to. Turn around, make at least a couple $100 or more, or maybe even 1,000 or something, depending on how many you have. Then make a nice big profit, and then you can put that money right back into your silver, or you can go maybe even get gold if you can get thousands of dollars, a couple $1,000s out of it. Then maybe you can go get a gold eagle or something and stuff. So, but just some thoughts I was wanting to think about. I don't want to make this video too long, but just kind of an update and kind of overview. And Let me know if you have any thoughts or questions, okay? Thanks, guys. And keep on stacking.